Hi, hello. My name is Samuel. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Victor the Analyst. So today we are going to be talking about attrition. So in my last video, I did attrition using Excel. So in this video, I'm going to teach us how to analyze attrition using what we call using Power BI. So, but before I proceed, I want to encourage us to try to subscribe to my YouTube channel. A lot of us have been watching my video without subscribing. Please, this is the only way you can actually make me encourage me to do more of this video. Okay, so you can subscribe to the video and like as well, and share to your friends to actually watch too as well. So this is what you're going to be doing today. These are projects that we're going to be working on today. So we have like two pages, which is the demography analysis and the root cause analysis. So this is about problem statements. Let me dive into the problem statements. So the problem statement is the attrition rate was up to like 20%, and we are looking ways into like bringing it down to the 5%. So we analyzed the data, realized that it was the factor was caused by salary, but we actually streamlined our objective down to the age group. We streamlined it down to the age group to know why this certain age group are leaving the organization. So we identify actionable uh, strategies to reduce it it to the that is from 20% down to 5%. So we want to reduce the attrition rate to down to 5%. So like I said, with the analysis was focused on the age group, but nevertheless we are going to check based on different demography, not only just the age group. So not really on the age group per se, on different demography like the departments, like the years of service, like the type employment type, etc, etc. So let's deep dive into our the business of today. So now I hope we all know what attrition is and what retention is. Attrition is people that are leaving the organization, while retention is people that are still in the organization. So let me go to my new Power BI. This is Power BI. This is the interface. So I can bring in data from different sources. I can bring in data from here. I can bring in data from here. I can also bring in data from this pan that I have here with me. So whichever case work well for me. So I will go to my get data. Remember my data is in Excel. So I will choose Excel. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I would try to pick the data. This is my data that I want to work on. Then I'll click on open. So now it's loading now. It's taking me to Power Query. It's taking me to Power Query where I need to. So I'll select this and I'll click on transform. So this Power Query is where we do our extract, transform, and load. You extract the data, you transform the data, now you load it. Now we've already done what we call extract. Now the next process is we want to do load transform. Transform the data means that maybe I want to clean the data, transform it into the proper shape, and making it fit for our objective. So I'll right click here. So let me explain this. This is just the same way you have in the Power Query you have in your Excel. So it's the same Power Query you have here in Power BI. This is the Home tab, Transform, Add column, Views, Tools, and Up. These are the ribbon section. So any step that I take, the apply step is going to show here. This is the name of the sheet, and what again? So at any point in time, once I click here, the ribbons changes. So that is, so I'm in Home ribbon and tab right now. So what I want to do is I want to split this data. This data is inside one column, so I want to make it into the individual column. Now let's look at this place. If I right click here and go to split column by delimiter, So I would go to my leftmost delimiter and I'll click on OK. So if I choose for each occurrence, let's look at something. Let me say if I choose here for each occurrence by delimiter. Now take note of my salary. My salary have comma after the dollar sign two and it adds a comma. So that is telling you that if I do for each occurrence, it's going to split the um the two away from this other value, so which is not right. So let's continue to do leftmost. So when you get the salary, then we'll start from the rightmost. So where we get to the salary, definitely we are not touching the salary, that's to say. So let's continue, and I would click on OK as well. So I would right click and space column by delimiter, leftmost, click on OK. Select this, right click, split column by delimiter, leftmost, and I'll click on OK. So I'll select this, right click, say go to split column by delimiter. I choose the leftmost delimiter and I'll click on OK. Select this as well, right click, say split column by delimiter, say leftmost, I'll click on OK. Select this, right click, then this time around I'll choose from the rightmost. I'll choose on the rightmost delimiter and I'll click on OK. Select this, right click, split column by delimiter. I'll choose on the rightmost delimiter, choose OK. Now the last one by delimiter and I'll choose on the rightmost and I'll click on OK. So there we go. Now we are left with our salary. Let's leave that there. So now I want to promote this. You can see that our employee ID is inside our data. Well, let's promote it up. So I'll go to this place and I'll click on the use first row as header. So this employee ID will promote it up. Now the next thing I want to do is let's change this our data type to O number. I'm going to change this to, I'll say add new step. I'm going to change this to text to as well. This is my primary key. I'll change this to text. I'll change this one to old number, O number. Alright, then the age is in O number. Then let's check for the department. Let's see what's inside there. So I have IT, marketing, production, and sales. So I would just right click here and say I want to trim, transform. Then I will just trim. Yeah. The next thing is this. Let me see what was stay up there. So I have 3D and that's fine. So the distance from work, I'll change it to uh, O number. So the employment type, I'm going to check what we have there. I have contracts, full-time, part-time, and part-times. So I'm going to trim first, then I'll do replace value. That's the two operations I'm going to carry. So I would right click, I'll go to transform, I'll trim, I'll next step, I'll right click, I'll go to replace value. So you're going to write it exactly the way you have it in your data, part times. So I'm looking for part times. I want to replace it with what? Part time. So it should be exactly the way you have it in your data. You can see part times. This is part time. So then click on this about option. Okay, this was with part time. And I'll choose on match entire cell content. I'll click on OK. Yep. So I click on OK. So there we go. So now let's see what we have inside that implement icon. So now we have this correct. That's good. Now the next thing is going to be our attrition. So attrition means have someone left the organization. If it's yes, that means the person have left. If it's no, that means the person is still in the organization. So attrition means people that have left the organization. So yes means people that have left. No means people that have no. So this one means yes. While this zero means no. So we're going to do replace value for this. Let's replace value. Let's one to be yes. Okay, before we do that, we're going to change this data type to text because remember that yes is a text data type. So change it to text. Then I'll right click on it. I'll say replace value. So anywhere you see one, please replace it with yes to me for me. So I'll come to this advanced option, then check match as a content, and I'll click on OK. Now the next one for the zero, right click on it. I'll say replace values, and I would say no. Advanced options match entire content, and I'll click on OK as well. So now we are done with the cleaning and we're done with the cleaning of the data, putting it in the right shape. But there's one more thing we need to do. We want to normalize the data. Let's normalize the data. Let me take us back to my projects that I've done here. Let me go to the model view. Let's go to the model view. Let's see what we have there. You can see my model view, that flat file I broke down into different table. So in Power BI, there's something we call data modeling. But you first, because when data comes in what's it called, from, let's assume we are working on a database system. This is how the data is going to be saved in a normalized form. That's 3NF. They call it 3NF. That's 3 normal form. You understand? So you should be able to connect and link this data together to be able to make analysis on it. But in our own case, this data come in the flat file. But just because of we want to optimize our speed of our system, and you just want to make the system, because of the speed of the system, memory space, and all of that, and again to reduce redundancy, so we actually normalize the data and broke it down into different table. So that's what we're going to do as well. So let's come back here and then start doing that. Now we have how many tables? So we're going to work on the um what's it called, this satisfaction rate table. So before that, I'm going to rename this to facts table and hit enter. So I would right click here and I'll say I want to duplicate this value here. So duplicating this, I will rename this to satisfaction table. I'll hit enter. So in satisfaction table, I'll select this and I don't want the rest. I'll say remove other columns. So this is what we have here. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I say right click and said remove duplicate. So there you go. Now we'll come back to that. So the next thing we want to do is performance table. Now the reason why we're doing this, how I'm breaking this table is that if I will want to create a satisfaction group. You understand? And that satisfaction group is when it is one, then we are going to equate it to very when it's equals to one, when the satisfaction rate is equals to one, it means we're saying it's very bad. So that very bad is depending on the satisfaction rate, which the satisfaction rate is depending on the employment ID. So that's why it's saying that that does not conform to three normal forms. So we're going to break down that table into another table. That's why we have the satisfaction table. Now, this to the same thing we have performance rating too as well. We are still going to create another column using this column. So that column is depending on the column, and this column is depending on this column. So that's a trans that does not conform to the three normal form. So we're going to break this one to down into another table. So now let's do this. Right click and I'll say duplicate. So I'll change this to performance table. Click on enter. So select this, right click, and I'll say remove other columns. Now I'm going to right click here and I'll say remove duplicate. Good. So back to my fact table. Now the next thing is age too as well. We are going to group our age into different group of age, whereby it's going to be like from 20 to 25. Depends on how the age is being distributed. So we're going to create a table for age too as well. So go to duplicates. So what we're trying to do now, we are normalizing the data. So we are going to say age table and hit enter. So I would then come here, select the age, right click, then I'll say remove other columns. So I'm going to be left with just my age column. I'm just going to be left with just my age column. So I'll select this, I'll say right click, and I'll say remove duplicate. So yeah, remove duplicates. We don't want to see duplicates. So now this is what we have. We have like from 24 to 47. So back to my first table. So the next thing we're going to do is now you can see the department. Department is um we don't have department ID. So we are going to create a department ID for this because in a read database, a department should be saved on its own. So we're going to create a department ID to relate back to this table and we're going to delete this. So let's create a department table because a department ID, what was it called? A department will be depending on the department ID and the department ID depends on the employee ID. Because the reason why I'm doing that is that not all employee work in the same department, so they will have a department ID too as well. So I'll right click here and I'll click on duplicate and I'll change it to department table and I hit enter. Okay, good. Now the next thing we're going to do is we select this, we'll right click, I would say remove other columns. Sorry for that. Remove other columns. I'll say right click and I'll say remove duplicates. Now I'm going to go to add column. I'm going to go to index column. I'll say from 1. Alright, good. Now there's one more thing we need to do. We need to merge because this is our primary key. Let's change this to department department underscore ID. Now this our department ID is not in our fact table because we need to link this table back to our fact table. So we need to introduce this our department ID into where we have this our department here. So this is how we're going to do it. We're going to go to the fact table and go to the home, then go to the merge query drop down. Then we'll click on merge queries. So this is going to help us merge um this is going to help us merge the department from the first table and down to the department table. So I'm going to select the department table in my fact table and I'll click on this drop down, then choose department table. So I'll select this as well. That means I'm joining the department table column from the first table and with the department column from the department table. So the join I'm going to use is a left outer join, meaning that everything in my um, everything in my first table, it should be merged together, it should be joined together to everything in my that means definitely if what I'm trying to say is that if there are no data in this left join means that all the old data that is in this my department in this my fact table will be brought into we are going to merge it together with this data that is going to be here. Now let's take for example now if I have like this department here, maybe like um production department, no, like this one of department, one other department, maybe like marketing. I was saying marketing. All right, maybe like telecommunication department here in my department in my fact table that is in the department column. I have like telecommunication here. You understand? This is going to show in the join, but this one is going to show as null here that you don't have anything here. That's why you have as a left outer join. So I just believe that you should go and try and read about joins. We have the left outer join, we have the right outer join, and we have the inner join, and we have the we have the inner join too as well. So I'm going to click on OK. So now this has come out as table, it has joined them as table. So I'll click on this person here. So I would then uncheck this and I will uncheck this and leave only the department ID. Then I'll click on OK. Alright, good. So back to my department, we don't need this here. We don't need this department here. So I'll right click here and I'll say remove because we already have that in my department table. Now moving forward, employment type to the same thing. In my employment type, so I'm going to distance from work. The distance from work, okay, we've done for the age. Now let's move to the salary. The salary too as well. We are going to do what we call conditional column. You understand? Into different salary group. So we're going to put this into a different column, into a different table per se. We're going to split this into a different table. So I'll right click and I'll say duplicate. So I would say salary table. Now for the salary table, I'm going to select this. I'll right click on it and I'll say remove other columns. So I'll right click here. I'll say remove duplicate. Now there you go. uh So back to my facts table. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to do this as well, because I'm going to create a conditional column for the distance from work to as well, because everything is going to be depending on distance. So definitely we need to bring it into a table. So once ever a categorical data is depending on another column, that is another categorical column is depending on another column, is you have to break it down into its own table, so that it can conform to what we call the three normal form. So I would right click and I'll say duplicate. So I'll rename this to distance table. Hit enter. So this is distance table. Right click, I'll say remove other columns. So right click and then remove duplicate. Okay, good. Now we're going to go back to the facts table. We've done for salary, we've done for distance from work. So this one too as well is gonna be the employment type. So we create a calendar for employment type. Remember that employment type will have employment ID. Employment type have employment type ID. So though we don't have it here, so we just need to bring that in just for this. So I'll rename this to uh, employee employment type table. Hit enter. Okay, good. Let's go to the employment type. I'll select this. I'll select the employment type and I'll right click on this and I'll say remove other columns. Alright, I'll say right click. I'll do remove duplicates. Okay, good. And I'll go to add columns. I'm going to say from 0 to, okay, now we have this. So this is going to be like our primary key that we're going to introduce to our facts table. So I'll come here. So, but before that, let me change this to employment type underscore type underscore ID. Enter. Let's change this one to text. Okay, good. Now let's go to the fact table. We want to introduce this our primary key there in the fact table. So I'll go to home. I'll go to mesh query drop down. I'll click on mesh query. Then I'll say I want to join my employment type or my fact table with employment type or my employment type table. I want to join the two of them. and I'll click on OK. So it's going to show us a table that we can actually now select what we want. So I don't want this, I only want the employment type ID. Then I'll click on OK. There we go. Now back to my facts table. Okay. Now we've done for the employment type, we've done for the attrition. No, you're going to leave the attrition because the attrition is depending on the employee ID. So we're going to leave this one. And so now we're good to go. We've actually normalized the data into their different table. Now we'll go to the close and apply. I hope I'm not mistaking anything. Okay, good. We are good. So I'll do close and apply. No, it's coming up. So we've actually done what we call the extra transform and load. Now the next thing we're going to do is we want to analyze our data. We want to analyze our data. We're going to do two type of analysis, which is the demography analysis and the root cause analysis. The demography analysis is going to tell us who are the set of people that are leaving the organization, why the root cause analysis is going to delve with why are people leaving the organization. Now let's take a look at something. Why will people leave the organization? Number one, it has to do with the satisfaction. If they are satisfied with their job, their salary, are they satisfied with their salary? And it has to couple down to the distance from work too as well. So these are the things that we are going to check uh, in our analysis. So from there we can actually draw out insights like, okay, yeah, this is why people are actually leaving the organization. But before then, we're going to know the set of people that is leaving the organization the most. Okay, now this is just rename this to demography. So we're going to have like two dashboard, one for the demography analysis and one for demography analysis. So it's on enter. So let's leave it like this. Now the first thing we're going to do is we want to use a in this charts the report view. Okay, we want to use a column charts as a column charts first. So that's going to be number of employee by department. So I will use a column charts for that. Let me click on start column charts. So I will bring this down here. Just I'll click outside here. So let me notice something. So this um our Canva is not aligned well. So click outside here, come here, click here, then you go down to your Canvas settings, then you click on what's it called, the alignment. We're going to align middle. Okay, see, now there's one more thing. We are going to come back to change the Canva background, but not now. This will come back to that later. So select this and let's start. So let's start visualizing our data. So now our x-axis contains the categorical data, while our y-axis contains the numerical data. So we want to know the number of people in based on department. The number of people based on that is total number of employee based on the department. So how are we going to get that? We're going to go to the facts table. We're going to count uh we'll count the employee ID. We'll make it to be our y-axis. Now the x-axis, which is has to do with the department, we select this. We drag this into the x-axis. So now that should give us something to visualize on. Okay, let's look at our model view. Let's see what's going on there. So let's look at our model view. All right. So let's look at our connections and see. So all these are not connected. So we need to manually connect them to their individual table. So these are fact center table. This is the age, the department. Okay, good. Drag this here. Oh, there's one thing we did not do. I noticed. Eh, I was like, what did we do? We've not done the conditioner. There's one thing we didn't do. We'll go back to Power Query to do that now. Okay, now let's start linking. So I'll link from my age down to this. Then I'll link the employee ID to that as well. But that is department's ID, sorry, department's ID to department's ID. Now the next is I'll link the satisfaction rate to, let me expand this a little bit, or better still bring down here. Let me drag this down. Okay, and I bring this down here. So the satisfaction rate, let me click. Okay, I'll bring it from here, click, then drag, click here. Oh, yeah, click this, click hold, then why is it doing like this? Click hold and drag here. All right, I think we've actually done the, oh, so right click here and delete this just only once. So the salary, click hold, then drag salary here. Then for the performance, we don't need the performance. We actually just did that. So just going to leave that. I'm just going to work with our satisfaction. So the distance from work, I'll select this and then come for my distance from work here. The distance from work here, that's it. So I've done the connection, but there's one more thing that we need to do. Remember that I told you that we're going to group our age, we're going to group our satisfaction rate and its salary. We've not done that, and we're going to group our distance from work. So let's go back to Power Query to achieve that. So I'll go back to my report view. So let's see for this one should, this This should come out well now. Let's see. By clicking on refresh, we should have something. Okay. Okay. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. So when we will now start slicing through. Alright, let's leave it like that. I think it's good. Now the next thing we want to do is I think what we did we use? Okay, yeah, good. So let's go back to our let's go to this place. Click on this icon here and click on transform. We want to go back to Power Query to achieve that. Um, Satisfaction table. Let's start with satisfaction table first. So we're going to say where we have 1 is going to be equalized to very bad, where we have 2 is going to be bad, and 3 will be neutral, then 4 will be good, then 5 will be very good. So just click on add column, then click on conditional column, click on the conditional column. So I'll change this to be let me see, name of the column. I'm going to be satisfaction group. Satisfaction group. Then column name satisfaction rate. So I say where it equals to 1, make it to be V good. Add clause. This equals to 2, make it to be good. Add clause satisfaction rate is equals to 3, then this will be neutral. Then add clause, I would say this is going to be 4, this is going to be, oh, this will be very bad, 1 will be very bad, sorry, bad, very bad, bad, good, then the last one will be good. Alright, then I'll click on OK. So let's just change the data type for this to be text. Good. Now you can see that where we have 1, very good. So now this data is depending on our uh, satisfaction rate. So what I'm trying to say is that if we have this data in my fact table, this column here will repeat itself over and over and over again. You understand? So that's why you actually broke it down into their individual table and do something like this. So now this performance table, my prevention delete it because it's not going to be part of our analysis. So let's delete this. It's not going to be part of our analysis. So I'll click on delete. It's deleted. Then I'll come to my fact table and delete the column 2 as well. I don't need it. It's not part of my objective. So I will just remove the performance rate. So I'm going to leave the satisfaction rate and the age, then the rest. So um, the thing is that as much as possible, only work with data you want that you need. The other one that is not needed, don't really bring them. So that's because of to optimization of your data space, and all of that. So now let's check this. What I used to do is that if I want to group this age into different age group, like say from 24 to from 24 to 26, let the system make it to be 24 to 26. You understand? Like from 27 to 36, let the system group it to 27 to 36, just like that. Like 3 3 years, like 3 3 years, group that age and make it to be like, okay, from this age to this age it is group. So now let's group by going to conditional column. And what I do is that I will subtract the maximum from the minimum. So the answer I'll get, I will divide it by the number of beam that I want. So I'll bring out calculator. I want us to do it together. I'll go to calculator. So I'm going to open my calculator. Alright, let me cancel this. I just need just one. System brought up 2 or 3 for me. Delete this. Oh gosh. Okay. Now we have this. So I'm going to say 47 minus 24. So what do you have? We're going to have so 47 minus 24 equals to 23. So I want to divide this my age group into 3. So now say divided by into 6, divided by 6. So I'm going to have this. I'm going to approximate. Let me just approximate this to, let's say, 4. So I'm going to be adding 4 to each age. That is from 24 to 28. Make it 24 to 28. Now from 28 to 32, make it 24. Make it 28 to 32, just like that. So I'm going to minimize this. Now this is my bin. I approximate it to be 4. I'll just minimize this. Then I'll come here. I'll say age group. So age, say less than or equals to, and it's gonna be, so from 24 to 20, that's gonna be 28, 24, 25, 26, 28, 24, 25, 26, 27. That's 27. Then my outputs will be 24 to 27. So I'm going to add another clause again. Age less than or equals to. So I'm going to have from 27 plus 4, 28, 29, 30, 31. So that means my calculator. 27 plus 4, that's 31. So here will be 31, which is 28 to 31. So add a clause again. I'll make this to be age, change this to be less than equals to. Now the next thing I'm going to do is let me just cancel this. Okay, 31 plus 4 is what? 35. So that will be 31, 32, 33, 34. That's 34, sorry, because I'm going to include not 35, 34, because you're starting from 31, 32, 33, 34. Okay, I'm coming. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Okay, now the next one, 32, 33, 34, 35. This is 35. This is 35, sorry. So this is going to be from 32 to 35. So add a new clause, then we'll say age less than or equals to 36, 37, 38, 39. Then we'll have 39 here. Then we'll have this to be 36 to 39. Then one more clause, less than or equals to 40, 41, 42, 43. I don't know if I'm 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. So it's going to be 43. So it's going to be 40 to 43. Then the last part will be 44 to 47. Good. So this is what we have. Then I'll click on OK. So I'll change this to text. Okay, good. Now the department, we already know that it's already sorted out. Now for the age, I'll just bring out my details that I use from my book. I feel like well, but we can do it together. So let's see the highest and the lowest. Let's see. Click on this part. So this is the highest. We have 6. I mean the lowest is 6.4. The lowest is 6.417. Then the highest is 6.485.9. So I'm going to subtract these two. The value I get, I'll divide it by 5. So let's do that together. So I'll say 6.485.9 minus 646.17 equals to, so this is going to 5839.73. So I'll divide it by 5. Then let's see what we get. So our beam is 1167. Okay, gonna approximate is 1168. Yeah, 1168. So it's going to be a beam 1168. So I'll cancel this. Now, let's click on conditional column. Okay, I'm gonna rename this to salary group, and I'll choose salary, and I'll say less than equals to. So we all remember that the highest value is 646.17, right? So if I add 646, which is I'll do 646 plus 1168. That should give us 1814, right? So now let me add it again, plus 1168, I get equals to, then it's going to be the next beam will be 1814. 5 2 2 9 8 2. Then the next beam again, I will add 1 1 6 8 equals 2. So it's gonna be 2 9 8 3 2 4 1 5 0. So I will plus 1 1 6 8. I'll get, okay, good. 4 1 5 1 2 5 3 1 8. You can see the way you get, you'll be adding the empty, that number, you'll be adding that number as an as a demarcation, as a beam. They call it the beam. So you say the next one plus 1 8. No, that's not 8. 1 6. Sorry, 1 1 6. 1 1 6 8 and equals 2. So which is 5 3 1 9 2 6 4 8 6. Good. So we have we remember that our highest number is 6485.9. So we've actually um divide those number into 5 equal parts. So now let's just minimize this and we'll type the values inside here. So my value, when this is less than equals to 1814, then my output will be 64621814. So add close again. Salary less than equals to, then it's going to be 1815 to 2982. No, sorry. And my beam will be 2982. So 1815 to 2982. Yeah. So I saying less than equals to. So let me explain something. You know why I say less than equals to? Okay, no, when we finish typing our statements, I will explain that. So the next one will be 4150. So it's going to be 298324150. Okay, good. Then I'll click on add clause. I'll say salary equal less than equals to. Then the next one will be like 531841525318. Okay, good. Then we'll have 5319264886. Good. There we go. So the reason why we are doing this, number one, is because of if we want to analyze people that are leaving the organization based on this salary group. Like if your salary fall in this group, let the system tell us. The reason we are not using the salary column is that the salary column is too long, is like a continuous data. So we group them into section to be able to carry out that to make you to give us a robust analysis. Then the secondly, let me talk about the statement. I say when salary is less than this value, just to give it anything that's lesser than 1814 is going to come out as this value, which is 646 to this value, right? This is going to be our output. Now we all know that in this next statement, this value is lesser than this. Understand? Definitely, when you say salary is lesser than this one and this value is lesser than this. So what the system does is that when it does this first statement, it's going to remove all the old value in this statement. So this one does not show again. So it carry out this one. This one does not show again. It carry out this one. This does not show. That's why you have it to be like that. So you understand? So you at every point in time when you carry out the statement, the statement is removed from that the data is removed from that column. You understand? So let's click on OK. So let's see what we get here. You can see that this data here, it falls within the range of this value here. Same with this, goes with this, and this one too as well. You can see that it falls within the range of this value here. So let me click here and change it to text because this is a categorical data. So and for the distance so as well. So for the distance, let's do the same thing. Within 2 years of service. So we have from 7 to 19. So let's do that together. Sorry about that. So this is going to be 19 minus 7, which is 12. 12 divided by, let's say 4. We're going to use 4. That is 3. So at any point in time, we're going to be adding 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So the first one is 7. That is 7 plus 3. We have 10. So it's going to be 7 to 10, 7 to 10, 11 to 13, 14 to 16, 17 to 19, 20. Okay, 17 to 19, that's good. So let's cancel this and let's start. So I'll go to conditional column. All right, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so this one is going to be called distance group. So I'll change this to distance for work. This one is going to be less than equals to. So I'll make this to be 10. So 7 to 10 km kilometer. So I'll make it 13. 11 to 13 km. Okay, no, it's okay, yeah, remember one. Okay, and this is going to be 16. I'll say 14 to 16 km. So the last one will be 17 to 19 km. So I'm going to click on Okay, so there you go. So I'll change this to text. Now there's one more thing. Going back to my facts table, which we didn't do. The years of service. We need to know the years of service. So now let's check this and see something. We can see that we're having 2027 here. So I would go to add column. You add column, then you go to the date drop down, then choose age. Because that 2027 you are seeing there is a outlier. That is just assume what we can say is that they are ghost worker. They are not meant to, because when you have a situation like that, you will contact your boss like, okay, yeah, this is what I got in the data. What do you think about it? I think this is an outlier. Should we just remove it or retain it back in the data? If they say no, no, remove it, but you're gonna give your advice that this is going to alter your data, your results in a in a wrong direction because we've not gotten to 2027 years. They could probably be a ghost worker. So I want to change this to yes. The total years people have worked in the organization. Let's see what we're going to have. Now we have, let's convert this to a whole number. So the age dot one, right click and remove that. Now for this, let's click on this filter. And you can see we have -3, -2, and -1. So uncheck this, and uncheck this, and click on OK. Now back to my what's it called? My dates. With them, click on this drop down. Let's see what we have there. So we uncheck this, uncheck this. So we'll leave all these ones. Then click on OK. All right. Now one more thing. Let's see. Let's look at this. This total years. We want to do is that at from 1 to 2 years is going to be our from 1 to 2 years is actually going to be like entry level. From 3 to 4 years mid level. Then from 5 above their senior level. You understand? So we want to do that, yeah. But no, remember this that's conditional column we are doing. They are depending on these total years. They're not depending um on the employee ID directly. They are first depend on this. So definitely we need to create a table for that. So let's right click, then we go to duplicate. Duplicates. I'm going to duplicate that. So I'll rename this to uh, YOX group. Enter. So now let's go to my YOS group. Select this, right click on it, then we say remove other columns. All right. Let's right click here and say we're going to remove duplicates. So yeah, so we have this. So from 0 to 1, let's make it from 0 to 1. It's going to be entry level. From 2 to 3, that's the mid level. From 4 to 5 is the senior level. So going to our conditional column here, we're going to make this to be yes, YOX. So I would change this to total years I'll say less than or equals to 1. I'll say senior, no, entry level. Entry level hard clause total years is less than or equals to 3. I'll say mid level. Let me make this to be 2. Let's drop this one side. Let me see. 1, 2. Now, what I'm having here, it depends on the business truth, like what the business take to be entry level or senior level. So I'll make this to be 1 for the entry level, and next 3. Then the rest will be senior level, or make it old workers. Old workers. Entry, mid, and old workers. Entry worker, mid worker. Okay, then I'll click on OK. I'll change this to text. Okay, good. Now we're done with this, and we can now choose to close and apply. All right, one more thing that we are going to do. Let's go back to our model view. Remember that we just created a new table. So I'll click on my model view. Click on my model view. Let me go back to my model view. Let's see what we have there. All right, this is years of service. So with my total years of service, I'll click, then drag this here to total years of service to make a connection. So this is what we call the one-to-many relationship. Means that one age here represents many age here. Uh, how come I'm not seeing? Okay, yeah, good. I'm seeing. I thought I was not seeing the age group of a thing. So now going back to my report view, so can I continue our analysis? But there's one more thing that we need to actually do. You know, we bring in our employee ID inside here. The system of us to try to count the symbol. We can actually write a DAX to do that by ourselves. So our teachers have to write DAX to calculate the total amount of employee in the organization. So without the system doing that for us. So I'm going to introduce us to a little bit of DAX this morning in this tutorial. So I'll cancel this. I would go to, let's go to this icon here, click on it. We want to create a table where we're going to put in all our measures inside. All right, I'll name this table measures. Then I'll click on load. All right, let's right click here. Then we'll click on new measure. The name is total employee, which is equals to count. I'll press TAB on my system. Then it's asking me which column do you want to count. That is the column name. I want to count the employee ID. Where is the employee ID located? It's located in the facts table. So I would so this is the table and this is the column. This is table and this is a column. So I'll locate this is my employee ID. I'll press tab to call that in. Then I'll press Ctrl and Shift and 0 to close the bracket. So I'm telling the system that I want to count employee ID under the fact table. Then I'll hit enter. Oh, this is employee type. I'll need to change that. Sorry. It looks like employee ID, so I just need to change that so that there's no cause for alarm. Just come here, click here, then backspace. Yeah, this is my employee ID. Click on tab, then close the bracket, and hit on enter. All right, the next thing we are going to do is that we are going to calculate our attrition rate. So that's what we're going to use as our primary key. Our attrition rate is our primary key in this analysis. So before we calculate our attrition rate, we are going to calculate the attrition number first. After calculating the attrition number, then we'll now calculate. So there's something we call okay, don't worry, we'll get to that part. But let's calculate the attrition number first. So I'm going to right click here, then I'll click on new measure. So I'll come here, then I'll rename this to number of attrition, which is equals to number of attrition is calculate. So I want to calculate the employee that have left the organization, and I'll say total employee, comma. I'm going to filter by what's it called? I'm filtering by the attrition column, the my attrition column saying which is equals to yes. Then I'll close the bracket. So I'm telling the system that calculates the employee where the facts where the attrition where the attrition column equals to yes. So this one is going to give us the people that have left the organization. So it's on enter. Now the next thing I'm going to calculate, I want to calculate the total employee whereby without filters, which is without filters of yes and no. So that's what I'm going to do. I am going to right click here, then I'll create a new measure. So I'll say total employee without filter equals to calculate. So total employee, comma. So the filter context will be remove filters from what? Which column? The column is attrition column. Then I'll close the bracket twice. So what I'm saying is that let's say for example, if I use my attrition as a slicer, if I click on yes or no, this total employee will not change. The total employee will be the same thing. So this one will override the feature that is gone. Then I'll click on enter. So now the next one is old. This is number of attrition and okay, yeah. So now let's calculate the attrition rate. So right click, then I'll choose new measure. I'll say this is equals to attrition rate equals to number of attrition divided by the total employee without filters. So then I'll hit enter. So I'll change my format to percentage. Alright, then let me select this. So I will just drag this into my Y axis. Alright, let's see. Okay, here we go. So it is perfect. So the next thing is that this is telling us that in the production department, the attrition rate there is 34%, and in the IT department is like that. So let's go to the next one, which is the age. Let's bring in the age. Let's bring in our visuals. Let's check by age group. So I'll break this down here. So I'm going to bring this age group to the x-axis and the attrition rates to the y-axis. Okay, so let me bring out my data label as well. Check this out. Alright, then I'll click on this again. So I want to get for my um, years of service group. So YOS will be in my y-axis and the attrition rates will be in the x-axis. So let me bring out my data label. Okay, good. Alright, so the last one inside the demography, we are going to talk about, we've talked about the age, the department, we've talked about uh, so let's go to the employment type. So let's use this. So I would bring this here. Or better still, I feel like we should use something like this. Let's use this one, a bar chart. Alright, I would then drag this down. On my attrition rates, I'll bring this to the x-axis. Okay, and then the next one is I need to bring in my okay employment type. I'll drag this to the y-axis. Good. So now we have this. So we'll come here and check the data label. So we have this. So we can see from this our demography that the highest attrition rate it goes to the 24 to 27, 24 to 7, 27 in the organization as the highest attrition rate. So that's why this analysis is focusing on that age group to see why they are leaving. And now we've actually done the demography analysis, but still we'll still go to the what's it called? We'll go to the we'll go to the root cause analysis. But now before then, we'll just first to like do some things here before we go there. And let's bring in our text box. So I'll go to insert. I'll click here. So let's break this out. So I would type inside here. So this is gonna be attrition, or will be in cap lock, attrition, attrition analysis. Okay, Samtech, attrition analysis. Okay, now let's bold this. Change the font size to this 24. Okay, let's increase it more 32. Oh, sorry about that. So let me select this again. I'll make this bold. Okay, good. I'll come here. Let me give a little bit space. Alright, no problem. Let me just close this. I'm not including here to that. Okay, good. Now we have this. Now we have our title. It remains our KPIs. Now our first primary KPI will be total employee. Secondary primary KPI will be attrition rate. Then the secondary KPI will be average age and average salary. So let's we have one of the primary KPI. It remains our secondary KPI, which is the average age and the average salary. So I'll go to the right click here. Then I'll say new measure. So I'll say average average age equals to average. Now close the brackets and hit enter. All right. So the we are going to bring in a card for that. So let me click on this card and bring that here. Okay. Let me do this properly. So before I populate this, let me create one more measure again, which is the average salary as well. So average salary, which is equals to average salary. Then I'll close the brackets and I'll hit enter. All right. So I would bring in my total employee without filter as my no. Yeah, let me bring that. Okay. So the next one is I'll bring in a click outside here, bring in another card. drag this down a little bit and just extend this. Okay, there we go. Now we are going to bring in our second KPI will be our attrition rate. So I'll populate the speed. Attrition rates. Alright, click outside here again, then bring in the card. So I'll adjust this. So the next one is we want to get in our, this is total employee, then this is going to be average salary. Average salary. So the next will be, let me click outside here, just bring in my card. Alright, the next will be average age. So I can check this. So this is going to populate. So we're going to change this to whole number. So let me click on the average age. So click there, then the format, click on the format, then we change this to whole number. Alright, good. So we are going to do something. We want to take our design from our previous work that I showed us before. So let me go to my, I'm going to pause the video and bring load that up. All right, welcome back. This is what we're going to do. We want to change our default color. Now you can see this. You can see that we have was white and blue here. So I want to change our default color to this color. So let's go and pick colors from here. Go to the view and the theme. So I would just drag down and say customize current theme. I don't know if customize current theme, yeah. Okay, now this is the color we used. We use color 1, color 2 and color 3. This is what we change. So our color 1 is let me click on this drop down so we can pick this color code, which is I'm going to write this down, which is arch to A to F33. Then I would come to this one, which is arch B B B C A5, which is arch F F F F F F. So good. So we'll go back to our work. Let's go back to this and change our color. So we'll go to the view, go to the theme drop down. So let's drag this down and go to customize current theme. Now the color 1, let's change this color 1 to 2A to F33. So I would come to this place here BBB CA5 FFF3 1 2 3 again. Then I'll click on apply. Good. So we are halfway done. So now let's go to our Canva. Let's select this. Select all side first. Make sure you're not selecting any of the card or any of the charts. Then come down here. We want to change our background, canvas background. We're going to use the color. We're going to choose this color. Then we're going to reduce the transparency. Now we have this. Okay, good. It's coming together. Now we'll start designing our card. Start designing our card. All right. So I will then drag this out. So let's check this out. Okay. Now, okay. So I'm going to pause the video and I will arrange this properly. So I'm going to pause the video now. All right. Welcome back. I've arranged the our charts so the way it needs to be. This is how we're going to arrange it. So you can arrange your own like this. So now we want to start formatting our KPIs and our charts. So I'm going to start with our KPIs. Then I'll start with this first. So let me teach us how to format this. Let me arrange this properly. Okay, good. All right. So let me arrange this properly. So I'll select this. So I'll go to this point and I would uncheck the category label. The callout value, which is has to be happens to be this number, I would make it bold. I will increase the size a little bit to 50. Okay. Then I'm done with that. So I'll go to the general. I'll on the title, click on the title drop down, and I'll say total revenue. I'll this will be total. I said total revenue. No, that's total employee. Sorry, total employee. Yeah. So my total employee, I'll make it bold. I will then drag this down. I'll align to the center. So my background color, let's check here. What would we have as our background color here? So yeah, that's good. So I will change my background color to this. I think that's too deep. I feel it's too deep. Can you something like this? Okay, good. So my effects, click on the effects. So I'm going to on the visual borders and I on my shadow. Click on this drop down. I'll make this to be 10 px. 10 px is good. Now we have this. All right, but I'm going to change this my visual borders. I'll make it to be something like this, so it's not show. All right, this is better. So I'll select this. I'll use the magic. I'll use tooth. Let me go back to my home, then pick on the paint, then select this. Okay, select this as well. Click on the paint, select this, select this, click on the paint and brush, I mean the brush, and select this as well. Okay, that's good. Now we just need to select this and then write our title. So back to up here, the title will be attrition rate. This will be average salary, average age. There you go. So now we're done with that, our KPI. Now the next thing is we want to format this our charts. This our charts. So we'll first of all start with the title. Our title will be select, so will be attrition rates per department. Attrition rates. Attrition rates per department. Okay, good. Now I would align this in the center. Our title will be align center. I'll make this one bold. The background, select this. All right, I'll come down here. So I'll on my shadow, on my visual border, change this to this color. Then this one will be 10 px. 10 px. Good. Now, one more thing we need to do, we need to bold these our departments down here. So I'll go back to my, I'll come up here, drag this up here. I'll go to my visual on the x-axis. On the x-axis, this is for the value. This value, this is it here. So I'll make my value, I'll change this color to black. I'll make it deep. That's for the x-axis, this one down here. So for the title, sorry, the title, this is my title here. This is the title, which is departments. I'll click on down here. I'll write departments in capital letter. Departments. Okay, there you go. I'll make this bold. Increase this one to 10. Then let's work on the y-axis. So I feel like let's make this thing. This should be departments. This way is better. This way, departments. Okay, good. Now for this one, I'll drag down. For the values, black, bold, the title, attrition, rates, I'll make this one bold, and I'll increase this one to 10. Okay, good. Now we formatted this. So to remain our data label, let's go to our from here. Staying on the visuals, let's come down. Want to format the data label. So click on the data label drop down. We're just going to make it bold. So the value, click on the value, just gonna make it bold. Okay, there we go. And all right, I feel like we should change this one to black. No, no, no. Let me Control Z that. Control Z, please. I don't know if that's gonna work. Control Z. Okay, good. Just make it bold is better. Just as well. So select this. So now we are done with attrition rates per department. We are done with this. So to remain this person. So we're going to click here and use our brush to actually click on this. So now we have this, but we still need to do some changes to this as well. So we would go to, we'll come up here, come up here. So we have the x-axis. This is the x-axis. So we're going to the y-axis. We just need to change just one word. Just say attrition rate. Okay, there we go. So I'll select this. Now I want to work on this one. I would just go to the general, the title. Let me fix the title first. This is going to be attrition by year of service. Call cap log attrition rate per year of service. So I'll change this to bold. Change this to align center. the background color, I'll choose this. Now you can see that this one is capital letter and why this one is small letter. So let's come back here and change this one, please. And I'll change this to attrition rate per age group. Good. Now let's select this. Okay, no. Back to this again. The let's go to the visuals. Our x or y this for the value, and this is the value that we have here. So we change this to black. We'll make it bold. All right. Come down a little bit, and my for the title, this is gonna be years of service. So I'll make this one bold, drag down a little bit, increase that to 10. So come down to the x-axis, I'll make this one to be black. I'll make it bold. Alright, and for the title, this is going to be attrition rates. Attrition rates. Alright, I'll make this one to be bold. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I don't know if there's, okay, yeah, I would come back to my general. I don't want grid line, so I'll go to my effects and then check if there's a grid line there. I don't want a grid line. Let me go to my visuals and check for grid lines. Yeah, this grid line. So I'm going to up my grid line. Don't want grid line. So I'll go for the data label, and yeah, I'll come down. Then I'll put this one to be just I'll make this one just bold. That's all. Just make it bold. Good. So same thing here. Select this, then click on this brush, and I'll select this. Good. So let's start. Just let us change the title and this person here and this person. Then we are done with this. So we'll come here. Okay. Under my y-axis, I'll come down to my title. Now say this is employment type, employment type. Okay, on the x-axis, this is attrition rate. So we so now let's go to my general, and for the title I'm going to change all these ones to all cap log. This is going to be attrition rate per employment type. So there we go, good. All right, we are good. So now the next thing we are going to do is we want to bring in our slicer. So let's bring in our slicer. We have the age group and the departments. We're not going to bring in attrition as our slicer, age group and the departments, age group and the departments as our slicer. So let's format this before we proceed to the next one. So I'll drag this to the edge. So I'll go to, let us see how we did this. Alright, my effects at the background, I'll change my background to this person here, and select this, shadow the visual borders. I'm going to change this to this and make it 10 px, 10 px, enter. Alright, now is the next thing that we're going to do is this slicer. So I'll come up here, sorry, this is my slicer. Where's my slicer? Yeah, this one. I need two slicer, the age group and let me see, the age group and departments. That's going to be my slicer. Age group, so let me populate this. So for the age group, I'll go to the group age table, then I'll drag this here. Alright, then I'll come up here and I'll say my slicer style, I want it to be tie. Alright, so let's see what we have there. Okay, should be having 3. Okay, it's not coming up that way. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5. Alright, think we're gonna leave it way. Selection, let's see, multiple values, border. Okay. um so I'm going to uncheck this, don't want that. So I'm going to go to my general and on my title, just make this age group. Alright, make this bold, and what I'm gonna do, the text color, okay, brilliant. The background color, I'll choose this, and oh no, let's do Control Z on that, please. So like I said, we're making this. Okay, so on the left alignment center, the effects, let's choose the effects, and I'm going to use the color of this for my background. Then shadow on, waterline on, choose this. So for the shadow, leave it like that, and background. All right. So we're going to the value now. Let's move on to the value, which is in the visual. So let's edit this. For the value, we want to make this to be bold. Okay, and this is going to be black. Good. All right. We'll do a Control C and Control V. So this is duplicated. I'll drag this down here. So click on this and just move this up a little bit. Feel it's better this way. All right. Okay, now the our data we're going to use for this is department. So cancel this. Go to the department table. Bring in the department into the field. All right. There you go. So now the next thing we're going to do is the button. The button, whereby once I click on, we're going to bring in our button here. Okay, now let's bring in our button. But first of all, I would need to go to, we're going to insert, and I'll click on this drop down. Okay, no, this drop down. Now bring in this shape. This shape. Okay, I'll drag this down a little bit. Drag this down a little bit. So I'll place this in center. Okay, Now I would go to my style. Let's see how we made our own here. If we actually left it in black. Okay, yeah, we left it in black. So the text, yes, I want text to be on. Click on the text drop down. This is going to be root cause. So when I click on this, it's going to take us to root cause analysis. Root cause analysis. Alright, so I would make this bold, then change this to this color, and I increase my font size. Alright, let's see what we have here. Is that what we have? So I still increase my font size a little bit. Okay, good. Better this way. So I'll come down here, click and drag down, down. So I'm going to on the shadow and on the glow. On the glue. Okay, there we go. So I would do something. I would just do go to no. So let me select this. Yeah, I want to change the title. Let me change the title to department. This is going to be department. Click on the side here. Alright, good. Now there's one more thing. We are going to bookmark this page, but before we do that, let me first duplicate. I'll duplicate this person here and I'll say click on duplicate. Now I'll rename this to root cause. Let me root cause analysis. Analysis. Hit enter. So good. Now I will bookmark this page. But let me bookmark this first one first. So let's proceed. I would then come to the view. I'll click on bookmark. So let me just hide this and hide the data. So I'll click on add. I'll rename this to demography demography analysis. Hit enter. So I'll go to the root cause. I would add bookmark. Rename this to root cause analysis. Hit enter. Now go back to my demography analysis. Now this button we want to click on, you want to do we want to do an action on it, whereby if I click on it, it's going to take me to my root cause analysis. So I would select this and let me just pull this in. Click on this format shape. I don't need this for now. So I'll go to on the action, click on this drop down. My action will be bookmark. Bookmark. So the bookmark, what kind of bookmark do I want? Root cause analysis. Okay, good. So if I click on control and click on this will take me to the demography, the root cause analysis. Sorry, it's going to be root cause analysis. So let's edit this. So let me click here and change the text. So I'm going to change this to demography analysis. Okay, good. Now we are done with this, right? So we are going to change. Let's go to the action. I'm going to on my action. Click on this drop down. Then I'll change the type to bookmark, and the bookmark type will be demography analysis. All right. This is how to link to two pages. So I click on control and I click on this. It takes me to my root cause, my demography analysis. If I click on this and press on control and click on this, take me to my root cause analysis. Now let's work with our charts. In our root cause analysis has to do with the satisfaction, has to do with the salary, has to do with distance from work, and let's edit that. So I noticed there is a grid line here. I would come to my demography and just change that. I don't want grid line in my any of my charts. I don't want grid lines in any of my charts. So I'll go to the visual, the grid line. I don't want grid line there. I'm going to off it. Off it. Okay. I don't want grid line. Okay, good. Now, so let's move back to our root cause analysis control and click here. So I select this, click on this, then I'll go to my visual. On the grid lines, I would uncheck this, select this, okay, select this as well. I don't want any green lines. Select this. I don't want any green lines. So now let's start changing the charts that we have here. So instead of me bringing in a new chart, I would just do something. So let's go back to what we have here in my in this analysis. So let me go to my root cause analysis control, click here. So in my root cause analysis, I have like 5 charts here, which has to do with total employee, that is total employee per department. No, this is satisfaction. This has to do with satisfaction. So this satisfaction, there's a mistake here. So I will just need to correct that. So this was the satisfaction. So let's do the satisfaction first. I'll go to this part, come here. So to my data, I would uncheck this and I'll go to my what's it called satisfaction table. I'll bring it out into the y-axis. All right, I believe there probably no connection there. All right, let's see. This is let's close here. So this is my satisfaction table. Oh, does it mean I have no? All right, okay. So it's not connecting to the right data. So I'll right click here and I'll delete. So let me delete the connection. So I'm supposed to link this to satisfaction rate, which is this one, this to this. Okay, let's wait for it to come up. So I'll click here. I'll select it to the satisfaction rate. Okay, good. Now let's go back to okay. Let's go back to our report view. Okay, now we have this. Very bad. 100%. Oh, why is it like that? Satisfaction rate to satisfaction. Okay, let's remove this. I'm bringing my total employee. Let's see what we have there. All right. So the next one is we're going to come back and change this. So let's check come here. Let's see what we have in your next chart. This has to do with distance from work. The next one is distance from work. So we're going to use this is a bar chart for it. Distance from work. So we're going to cancel this and bring in where's our distance from work. This is the other distance table. Distance from work. No, sorry, I want to be this person distance from work group. Okay, there we go. Now the next one is salary, salary. So I'm going to squeeze that inside here. So I'll adjust this one a little bit outside. So okay, now we go. So I will just Control C and Control B this. I'll bring that in here. So salary. I think we need to just adjust this a little bit. Adjust this a little bit. Bring this out. Bring this out. Let me do Control Z, please. So I would just. So let me use a this cluster budget. I think that should go well. Select this and just adjust outside a little bit. And select this and adjust aside a little bit. All right. We're going to change this to, we cancel this one. Bring in our salary. Let's go to our salary table. Salary table. We'll bring this to the y-axis. So there we go. So, but this person that is here, I don't know why we are having an issue here, which is has to be attrition. Should give us the percentage. That should have given us the percentage. Okay, it should not give us something that is correct. So I would, because of the time, I will just put in the attrition number inside here. Let's see what we have there. Good. Okay. Now the next we are going to do is they are going to do a scatter plot. Scatter plot. Scatter plot. So I would I'll just select this and delete. So I'll bring in a scatter plot. Just click on scatter plots. Yeah, just bold it outside. Good. So for the scatter plots, we have relationship. Let me check what we have here. We have relationship between years of service and salary. Relationship between years of service and salary. So my years of service will be in the. Let me go to the years of service table, which is this person here. This total years of service is going to be in the x-axis, and the salary is going to be in the y-axis. So we have that. But this one is showing us for both people that is in the organization and people that are not in the organization too as well. So we can always filter down by bringing in our slicer. Let's bring this one down a little bit and just adjust. Okay, actually bring one slicer here, but let's just try to do the second one as well. Let me just delete this as well. So the next I'm going to bring in my another scatter plot again, which is age and age, which is age and salary, age and salary. Okay, come in. So I'll drag this up. Good. Now we're fine. So select this and I will bring in. Let me just adjust this outside a little bit. Good. Um, my age. I'll go to my. Let's go to my salary. I'll drag this to the. Uh, select this. So my salary to the y-axis, then my age, go to the age to the x-axis. So good. So we can see that from 20 to 30, they're actually collecting a low amount of money in the organization. So let's format this. Let's now start changing the title, and oh, my battery is low. All right. All right, let's start formatting our scatter plot. So I will select this our first chart. Remember how we added this our title and the we're going to change this title that is here. So we go to this our format visual, then we'll go to the general, we'll go to the title, then rename this to relationship. That's relationship or catalog relationship between years of service. I'm going to YOS and salary. Good. So we'll make it bold. They'll come down. You change the background color. We use what we've been using, which is this color. Then we align to the center. So we'll come down. The effect, under the effects, we go to the effect. Inside the effect, the background color will leave it as white. So we on the visuals, then we on the shadow. Now for the visual borders, we're going to change this black to this color. Then we scroll down a little bit. Everything is perfect now. So back to my visuals. Remember, I want my grid lines because this is a scatter plot. So I would bring in my visuals to be black. All right. Then I'll bring all the vertical to. I'll change it to be black. Okay. There we go. Uh, what other thing do we need? Yeah, I think we are good to go. Now for the x-axis, let's format the x-axis. These are y-axis, and these are x-axis. So let me first format. Let's format the x-axis first. So we would come down here. Take note, if your axis does not start with 0, this is where you can change it. You can just put it here and put 0 here and hit enter. Make it 0 and hit enter. So this is your our axis. If it does not start with 0, this is where you can change it. So let me come down. Let's come down again. Then the value. This is the value. Why this is the title. I mean, we're dealing with the sorry, we're dealing with the x-axis, right? So the for the x-axis, this is our x-axis. So this is the value, and this is the title down here. So for the value, we want it to be bold. We want it to be black. Yeah, and that's cool. So for the title, we change the title to, yeah, I think total that is, no, that is years of service. It should be years of service. Years, years of service. All right. So we drag come down. We change this one to bold. Make it bold. Yeah. So for the y-axis, let's come down. Change this one to 0 if your unit is not starting from 0. Okay, just delete that. Let's see what really happened. Okay, think I was leave that, but if it's not starting from 0, you can change that to 0. So the value changes to bold, and leave this to black. Then for our title, we'll come down, because at any point in time you need to title your chart. So this is going to be salary, so that your audience will see what each as is mean. This salary, we're going to change it to bold. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now we are done with this. So we can just select this and click on our brush, then click here. So there we go. So but we're going to change this our title name, and we change the title for all these two as well with the as is title. So let's come here to for these two. We want to go to our title. We need to go to our title and do some changes. So in this our title, we're going to say relationship between salary and age, or age and salary, relationship, relationship between salary and age. Okay, good. Hit enter. So that's perfect. And one more thing that we need to do. We still have a lot. Don't say one more thing. Sorry, I hate to say that. All right, we would need to change our title and our axis. So let me select this. So I go to my title. This is attrition number. This is going to be at number of attrition, number of attrition. This is satisfaction. No, number of attrition. So from rates, I'm going to cancel this. Okay, yeah, number of attrition per satisfaction. This is going to be satisfaction. Satisfaction. All right, good. Now the next thing is we want to change the axis, which is this is going to be satisfaction and transaction number. So I'll go to my visuals and do that. So on that under the y-axis, we come down to the title. This is department on the y-axis, so it's going to be satisfaction. Satisfaction. Okay, good. And yeah, come up here. Okay, for this, I'll change this to attrition double. Good. So we're done with that. So back to this one. This is going to be so my title will be attrition rate per salary group, per salary group. Okay, good. Now the next thing, this one, I will change my axis. So let me go down to my visuals. Under my y-axis, this is supposed to be salary group. I'll just change to salary. The title, just need to just change the title, which is salary, salary, and the attrition for the x-axis, the attrition rate is perfect. We're gonna leave that because the x-axis is actually showing us the attrition rate. Now for this one, this is gonna be attrition rate per distance. So I'll go to my general, I'll go to the title, then I'll come down here and change this to attrition rate per salary, salary. This no, this is gonna be distance per distance, distance, distance. Okay. Um, so I would go to my visual, then under my I don't need to do anything on my y-axis. I'm just going to my y-axis, which is this part. I want to change my title. My title needs to be changed. This is years of service, so I'll change this to distance from work. Distance from work. That place is going to contain, yeah. So distance from work. So we good. So just one more thing that we just need to do. Let me drag this down and just extend this out a bit. So I want to bring in a slicer for my yes and no. All right, let's bring out a slicer for my. So I'll come here and click on this. I'll bring this here, drag this to this. I just adjust it. All right. So I would come down to the attrition. Let's look for attrition. Under attrition will be under our fact table. So I'll drag the attrition into the field. So we have yes and no. Now I'm going to select this and I would click on this, my paint button, come here and click this once. Do it again, okay. Select this again, click on it, then do it the second time. Oh, still not working. Let's try one more time. Click on this and I would click here. Let's see. Yeah, it's work. All right. We'll just adjust this a bit and let's go to up here. I want to change the title general. The title this should be attrition. Attrition. Okay. No, it's not space right. Attrition. Not good. So I will just drag this down a little bit. I'll just drag this down a little bit. So let me bring this down here. Okay, good. All right. So we've actually come to the end of our tutorial. So if I start on yes, let's see what's going to happen. So this is actually showing us that from 20 to 30, they're actually collecting the salary from within 2000 dollars to within the range of $2,000 or so. While from 40 above are collecting this amount. Now, if you see from years of service, people that have actually just entered the company are actually receiving high, and this could be due to probably these people that are here, they are not trained. If they are trained, they are, at least their money should be increasing, and that's why they are leaving. So I hope this you actually gained a lot. So this is how to carry out analysis on attrition. So my next project is going to be on um, social media social media, how user interacts with social media, how it actually affects their productivity life and things like that. So just watch out for the video, and I believe that we can actually learn a lot from that. So one of my other video tools that I'll be creating a video on how you can use is t-test or z-test to actually test an hypothesis. Though I've actually created a video on how to make use of t-test, but I'm going to create another video on how you can use it on the business terms. So watch out for that, and please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is the only way you can actually encourage me to do more of these videos. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.